Welcome back to the ARCA Rattlesnake 150 at Texas Motor Speedway. The sun's setting as the lights are about to come on and the engines are about to be fired up. The last time that happened was 12 years ago in 1998. Let's take a look back when the ARCA Racing Series was last at this mile and a half.
Frank Kimmel, the 46 car, was our pole sitter. The 59 of Mark Gibson gets in the back of Frank Kimmel. Frank got a little bit loose, and around he goes. Hard contact into the inside wall.
Virtually ending Frank Kimmel's night, but it was Mark Gibson who went on to collect the checkered flag, his first ever win in the ARCA Racing Series. They celebrated. It was Bill Baird coming home in second in that race. There are 3 drivers that were in that race that are also in this race tonight. Frank Kimmel, Brad Smith, and James Harvey Hilton will all be starting tonight's race 12 years after the first ever run at Texas Motor Speedway. Hello everyone, Rick Allen and Phil Parsons with you. Now Phil, I'd mentioned 12 years since we've been here. Things have changed. We've gone a lot faster. As a matter of fact, I think Frank Kimmel had the pole at 173 miles an hour. These guys are going about 185 miles an hour now.
Yeah, our fastest car in practice ran almost 187 miles an hour here. So a very, very fast racetrack. As a matter of fact, it's the fastest racetrack on the entire ARCA Racing Series. Now we have 5 of the fastest 16 cars in practice that will be starting back outside of the top 20 because we rained out qualifying. So there's going to be a lot of goers and comers, but real fast action here. Great racetrack, plenty of room for side-by-side racing. We're going to see a lot of that.
What about the youth in this field? I mean, we've got some young kids in here with not a lot of experience at a racetrack like this.
Yeah, and this is fast. Daytona's a whole different animal. You kind of get wound up and go a little bit slower than here, but here you have the acceleration. Extremely fast, and I think these guys are really going to learn a lot tonight.
They're going to have to learn a lot very quickly as the engines are about to be fired. Let's go down for the command.
And now, race fans, it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome your grand marshals, members of the heavy metal band Free Reign, lead guitarist Justin Chapman, Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman and lead vocalist Mark Colombo, and Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman and drummer Corey Proctor.
Drivers, start your engines!
They scared all 38 drivers into starting their engines. They've come to life. That is the engines, and we're about to go green. Coverage of the ARCA Racing Series on Speed is brought to you by RE/MAX. Find your dream home at RE/MAX.com. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Welcome back. Cars are rolling around this racetrack. Your starting grid's going to roll across the top of the screen.
Nelson Piquet Jr. for his second ever stock car race. Actually ran the truck as well as the ARCA car in Daytona. Did a great job finishing in the 6th position, but will start on the pole.
And they roll around this mile-and-a-half racetrack. Let's take a look at our Burger King track description.
Great facility here, built back in 1995. They actually redid this racetrack. They changed the transition. They softened them up into and out of the corners, made it a terrific racetrack. You can race all over this racetrack from the bottom to the top. You see the banking in each end, 24 degrees.
Has a quad oval in the front, so it's not a straightaway, and it's not a tri-oval, a little quad oval as they go across the stripe. Our race analysis for this Rattlesnake 150 has us going 100 laps.
You can see the pit window was somewhere between 60 and 70 laps. Remember, with a 100-lap race, a lot of talk in the garage area. Let's try to get 35, 40 laps in. Then we'll stop, and if we go green the rest of the way, then we know we're okay. But they may decide to put tires on later if the caution flag were to come out. You can see pit road speed 45 miles per hour.
We'll ride along with 2 different drivers. One of those being Joey Coulter in the number 16. He'll start in the 5th position.
Steve Arpin in the number 55 car, our most recent winner, with a great sponsor, new sponsor on board, Mike's Hard Lemonade. They're very excited about having that, but he starts way back in the 22nd position.
Field looks as though they're getting the 1 to go sign. Next time by, they'll get the green flag. Before that happens, let's go back to pit road and Jim Trado.
Guys, you have to keep an eye on Frank Kimmel. That number 44 car has never been raced by Kimmel Racing before, but that car was a Roush Fenway car that Carl Edwards drove here. Carl's got 2 victories in Texas. This race car, according to Bill Kimmel, the crew chief, is the best mile-and-a-half race car this team has yet to put together. They didn't test here in March. They came down yesterday. They said that's our test session. They changed springs 4 different times, fixed the seat. Frank's comfortable. Bill thinks they got a chance for a victory here at Texas. Wendy?
And when it comes to Mikey Kyle in the field, he starts 11th, but it's not an indicator of how these cars are going to race tonight. This was the starting grid. Take it and tear it up, because of course we got rained out for qualifying. The 25 car of Mikey Kyle has the very fast car here at Texas. He was fastest at the test session earlier in the month, and he was fast yesterday in practice. He feels confident about the car, and he's going to be aggressively optimistic when the green flag drops, according to Mikey Kyle in that Tag Heuer Toyota car. He didn't need his sunglasses yesterday, guys. As you know, we got rained out for qualifying.
And that is why we have set up based upon owner points. And because of that, there are a lot of great cars, as you mentioned earlier, starting 20th and back.
Oh, they really are. There's going to be a great race back there. There's that 55 car, Steve Arpin. What a terrific job he did at Salem last week. Here's Mikey Kyle in the 25. Grant Enfinger, always in that 09, always runs extremely well on a limited schedule here.
They will have a lot of competition to work around to see if they can get up front, but both of those drivers had great cars in practice yesterday. We'll see if that translates into great racing today on the track. The pace car has made its way off of the racing surface. Now it is Nelson Piquet and Justin Marks bringing the field to the green flag.
What a nice start by Nelson Piquet. He's never done this before in a stock car. Did a great job. Justin Marks doing a pretty good job from the outside of that front row.
He took the lead going through 1 and 2. Now down the backstretch, it's Justin Marks, our point leader, co-point leader, out front of this field. That bright yellow 44 of Frank Kimmel moving to the front once again.
We told you could go all around this racetrack. Dakota Armstrong on the outside, making it 3 wide. Tim George Jr. in the middle in a 31 car.
2 and 3 wide as they cross the stripe at 31. Well, Tim George Jr. really right in the middle, a tough position to be in, but he's able to keep it straight. Brian Silas slowing down on the high side of the racetrack.
I think maybe
no problems with that.
Maybe just a little unsure up there. Probably hadn't been up there in practice. A little bit unsure if there was enough grip up there. And believe me, there is.
And one of the other things that happens with the ARCA Racing Series, they race on Hoosier tires. The last vehicle to be on the racetrack was the Sprint Cup cars, and they'd race on Goodyear tires.
That's right. A lot of times the guys say that really affects these cars, but it doesn't look like it's affecting. Caution is out. We have problems off turn number 4.
Spinner in turn number 4, just as they come out of turn 4. That's the 10 of Nur Ali. He's a native of right here in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, home about 10 minutes from here.
What a horrible break for Nur Ali. We talked to him yesterday in the garage. You're so excited to be here. 900 tickets he got for this race.
Yeah.
Sponsored by some local sponsors. The local distributor for Budweiser is one of the sponsors on board.
Yeah, it looks like both right side tires are down. Actually, the left side tire looks down as well.
There's a lot of damage to the rear of that car, unfortunately, for Nur.
Let's take a look at what happened. Just a quick glimpse.
Look top of your screen as the cars exit turn number 4. See Nur already loose when he comes into view there, makes contact with the outside wall. Let's see if we can take another look. There he is, already sideways. Slides up the racetrack, but great news, only a 1-car incident here.
Yeah, and doesn't look like a lot of cars were around him too, so maybe just broke free when he got back in the gas.
Yeah, and again, you know, very limited amount of practice these cars haven't been on the racetrack since yesterday afternoon.
So the first caution comes out on lap 2 of the ARCA Racing Series return to Texas Motor Speedway. We'll be back with more here on Speed.